Tyrannosaurus Rex, aka Gorash, one of, if not the strongest T-Rex 2.0, besides Tyrannosaurus, of course. Today, I'm going to be putting Gorash's strength, smarts, and speed to the test, and not only put him on an island, a different era, or a different universe, but against an entire franchise, the Jurassic Saga. Will Gorash be able to survive the entire saga, or will he die? This is Gorash in the Jurassic Saga. Now, how will I do this? Well, I'll put Gorash in different timelines and put him against those dinosaurs that lived during those timelines, those being 1993 to 2025. But first, let's discuss him a bit more, and for those of you who haven't heard about him, Gorash, go check out this video where I discussed how I built him. But I will discuss the size and weapons he brings. Gorash, the Armored King, standing 22 feet tall, 65 feet long, and weighs 14 to 16 tons. Weapons: massive jaws that can crunch with a force of 19,000 to 20,000 psi, with iron-reinforced teeth that are venomous. Huge front limbs that can grasp, rip flesh, and pummel small or medium-sized opponents. Poisonous skin on the underbelly and neck that can be lethal and cause immediate death to smaller creatures. And very high intelligence and problem-solving, expert fighting skills, and high-end senses. Alright, with that done, let's get back into the video. We will begin by putting Gorash in 1993 Jurassic Park. Okay, let's be here. Nothing can bring Gorash down. The Triceratops and Paras would just run after seeing him. Gorash would just take down the Brachiosaurus by going for the legs. Dilos and Gallies would just be gone, since they wouldn't stand a chance. The Raptor Pack's not so much either, since Gorash is too armored for their claws to slash through. If they bite his fur, then they get a mouthful of poison and die. The only dinosaurs that can put up a good fight to Gorash would be Rexy, who was not in her prime at that time, and the Alpha Triceratops, if they teamed up. But that wouldn't do much either due to Gorash's strength and agility, including those long arms, so Gorash clears this with low difficulty. Next is Lost World 1997. Paras, Gallies, Pachycephalosaurus, Trikes, Stegos won't stand a chance against Gorash. Brachios are done for since Gorash just needs to target the legs. Mamentosaurs could pose a threat to Gorash, not due to their massive size, but their whip-like tails. But Gorash's high intelligence would likely avoid the tail due to his speed and agility. But what about the Raptor Packs and the T-Rex family? Even though there are many raptors than the 1993 ones, even in a group they wouldn't do much either. Due to Gorash's thick armor, Buck and Doe would do some damage to Gorash if they work together, and Junior, if he's an adult, would also do damage to Gorash along with his parents. But Gorash, being a problem solver and an expert fighter and thick skin, would give him the edge at taking down the trio of tyrants. Gorash moves on with low to somewhat mid difficulty. Next up is 2001 Jurassic Park 3. First, like I said before, Trikes, Stegos, Paras, Corythosaurus would just run away after or fight back. Brachiosaurus would just run, or in this case, die due to Gorash's targeting the legs. Combies wouldn't go anywhere near Gorash. Ceratosaurus, not a chance. Ankylosaurus could somewhat damage core, but not quite. Tyrannos would just fly away. Raptor Pack led by the alpha female may be a threat to Gorash, but they would just meet the same fate as the relatives, even with sheer numbers. But what about the Spinosaurus? The Spinosaurus will put up a very good fight indeed. But as the Spinosaurus fight the Bull Rex, who has the advantage at brute strength, height, and weight. But fighting Gorash, the role would be reversed, and the Spinosaurus would be smart enough to retreat if badly injured. Gorash moves on with mid difficulty on this one. Next is 2015 Jurassic World. I like to say something. I won't say the dinosaurs in this movie that had already been in the last 3 movies, like Stegos, Anky, Ceratosaurus, Gallies, Compies, Brachios, Pteranodons, Raptors would be cooked since Gorash already beats those species. But don't worry, I'll still do the new species and even the main character ones too. So let's start. Apatosaurus will go down if Gorash targets the legs. Triceratops and Tyrannosaurus wouldn't stand a chance. Delos, Tarbosaurus, Carnos like Toro and Demon, Molophosaurus, the Allosaurus, the Baryonyx trio, and the Morphodons would get stomped on or run away. But what if Gorash met the Scorpius Rex duo? Well, if both of them were together, they can do damage to Gorash, but would lose due to their aggression and Gorash's sheer strength. If they got a quail into Gorash's skin, he will be fine since he is widely immune to toxins, venom, poisons, and pathogens or sickness. But I will make this a bit more fun and put Gorash at the end of the movie where Rexy and Blue fought the Indominus Rex. If Blue, Indom, and Rexy saw Gorash, Rexy would likely be the first aggressor in this fight along with the Indom and Blue. Sorry, I'm lost. The combination of speed, intelligence, and strength will give all three an advantage, an edge of taking down Gorash. But he is a berserk fighter with high intelligence and fast reactions, all three in one as they say. So all three will go down. But if Gorash got ambushed by the Moza, then yeah, he's done for. He can swim and fight well in the water, but against this Moza sword, no chance. Gorash moves on with mid-high difficulty. Next is 2018 Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. To be real here, the only creatures that were healthy and not sick are the Stygia Moloch, who's just going to book it. Blue wouldn't want anything to do with Gorash. That just leaves the Interrupter, and things are not looking good for him. Oh boy. He may bring speed, agility, and experience on his side, and could do some damage to Gorash's face, but face off against a massive quadrupedal with massive primate arms with insane arm rotations, a menacing bite, extreme durable armor, and problem-solving intelligence, the Interrupter wouldn't stand a chance. Gorash moves on with negative to low difficulty. Next up is 2022 Jurassic World Dominion and Chaos Theory. Yes, these two are actually combined. But before we go any further, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything like this. Alright, back to the video. Lysosaurus, Oviraptors, Locusts, Morus Interpretus, Microceratus, Dimetrodons, Power Raptors, and the Trosraptor pack would just run away or get trampled. Pachyrhinosaurus, Nasuceratops would just get their heads ripped off. Majungasaurus, Suchomimus, Becospinax, and Leucistic Baryonyx, even if they teamed up, wouldn't have the chance to take Gorash down. The Dominion Quetzalcoatlus, what would you do? Sharpie could perhaps penetrate Gorash's armor, but that's only on a specific weak spot. And one mess up and Gorash would just grab the neck and rip it apart. If he came across Biosyn's Giga, Therizinosaurus, and Rexy in the final battle, they can damage Gorash's less durable spots on, but those will be hard to get to due to Gorash's thick armor and arm rotations, with a stronger bite to back it up. A Dreadnoughtus is just like any other sauropod. Gorash would absolutely take down Dreadnoughtus by aiming for one of its legs. The less amount of legs you have, the more weight you have on the other, and risk of the chances of falling down. Take notes. Gorash moves on with high difficulty. Now, on to the final destination for Gorash. 2025 Jurassic World Rebirth. To be honest, this might be the most interesting than the rest of the movies Gorash has been in. Since this has less amount of species than all the other movies, I'll describe them in detail. Let's begin with the tiniest dinosaur, or actually the tiniest flying reptile ever in the Jurassic franchise, the Anugrognathus. I think I pronounced it right. Anugrognathus. Gorash, when encountering this little one, would just leave it alone. Why? Well, even though Gorash is an expert fighter and would just kill this creature with a single stomp, chop, or swipe, whenever he encounters a new species, he is curious at first and wants to be friends or allies. But if that opponent turns aggressive and is ready to fight, Gorash would become aggressive as well. But this little Q, however, isn't much of a threat to Gorash. It would likely just follow Gorash and he would be fine having a little friend. Dolores and the mutant amphibian would run away. The two-headed Trikes would likely not pose a threat to Gorash, and Gorash would not kill the two-headed Trikes if it didn't see him as a threat. Next up, the Mutange. Even though these two would What the heck is this script? What did I do? Even though these two can't fly, they stand no chance against Gorash, not one bit. The Dunkleosteus, even if this one is faster, more agile, and a more effective bite in the water, Gorash will overpower the fish and give it a bite of his own in the water. Anyone had Dunkleosteus sushi? Next level Blackfin Tuna. The four Spinosaurus pack will pose a serious threat to Gorash. With all four of them working together, they can do serious damage to Gorash due to their sheer numbers. But Gorash can take them down by using his sheer weight, arms, problem-solving, and berserk state to his advantage with mid-high difficulty. If Gorash is encountering a Titanosaur, this might be about he will. He knows he can lose since a Titanosaur would kill Gorash by a single tail swipe. He and the Titanosaur would just leave each other alone since they are not a threat to each other. But what about Ember? Ember the T-Rex isn't as aggressive as all the other T-Rexes. She is kind of curious about her surroundings, especially when she went after the Delgado family. But she can act aggressive if threatened. Same thing goes with Gorash. When encountering each other, they both are curious about each other. Somewhat of a roaring standoff, and seeing neither of them pose a threat to each other, they would likely stay out of each other's way. It's now time to see Gorash encounter his basic relative and older version of him, and the apex predator found in St. Hubert, Distortus Rex. Both of these Rexes have lots of things in common. They both walk on four legs, have similar head shapes, body shapes, and are curious about their surroundings. After both of them notice each other, they are curious at seeing each other. They never seen another one of their kind before. If you wanted them to fight, the winner would be Gorash, by some difficulty. Why? Well, the Distortus Rex is larger and stronger than Gorash, but Gorash is smarter, faster, and more agile than the Distortus Rex, and would beat the T-Rex by mid-high difficulty. But in reality, these two would just get along with each other, protecting each other like siblings and hunting together, like two long-lost siblings that have been reunited. Gorash moves on with high to extreme difficulty, especially when it goes against the Mosasaur from Jurassic World Rebirth. Yes, the same thing. So to answer the question, can Gorash survive the Jurassic Saga? The answer is absolutely yes. But how many species did Gorash face? Bebop did the calculations of the species and all the movies and the seasons, and it says Gorash faced off against 53 different species. That's a lot of cheddar. How difficult was this? Well, to me, I say he handled it from mid-high difficulty throughout the entire Jurassic Saga. This video was an amazing video to me. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel, because up next is a face-off you don't want to miss. For now, as always everyone, continue to preserve your dreams. I love y'all. Bye.